My favorite Thanksgiving memory is from a few years ago. My dad had to have surgery, and after the surgery wasn't able to eat, needed a lot of help and medical intervention, but that Thanksgiving after his surgery, he could sit at the table with us, he could take his first bites of real food for the first time in months, and I just have this distinct picture of all of us sitting around the Thanksgiving table and just relishing the time that we got to have with him and watching the recovery that had taken place the months prior.
This is not a specific memory, but as I have gotten older and my siblings have kind of all spread out, we don't actually get together for Thanksgiving dinner any longer. So many years ago, my mom started doing Thanksgiving breakfast. And so there's 18 of us or more, depending on nephews and nieces and their respective boyfriends or girlfriends, but sitting around a table eating all kinds of yummy breakfast foods and catching up as a family.
Probably growing up in Zimbabwe, we would always eat Thanksgiving with the whole missionary family. And then after we all ate way too much food, we would take a hike down to the river that ran by our mission hospital. And just that time together of fellowship is always close to me when it comes to Thanksgiving.
So we're one of those families that runs a 5K every Thanksgiving. And the year my brother-in-law had to join, he had to do it for the first time. He went out guns blazing. He went so fast, he passed out 100 feet from the finish line. It's not funny, it's hilarious.
Pretty much every year our family gets together and cooks a lot of stuff together, and then we eat until we're ready to take a nap, and then we play lots of card games. So I just love the whole Thanksgiving.
My favorite Thanksgiving memory, it wouldn't have to be so much Thanksgiving, but Black Friday. We're more of a Black Friday kind of family. And so just every Black Friday, it's so much fun being able to bond and wait in line for hours upon hours.
So my favorite Thanksgiving memory is kind of over the course of a lot of them. When I was younger, my grandmother came in one Thanksgiving with this giant white tablecloth, and she told us that from now on, every year we were all going to sign it in black Sharpie. And so it was really cool over the years looking back and seeing how everyone's signatures changed as all the little kids learned to write their name, friends that happened to visit with us one year, the funny little jokes. And we didn't get it out for a long time after she passed away, but the first time that we did, it was bittersweet, but it was really exciting looking back on and remembering all of those memories just in vivid detail.
My Uncle Carl drove in from Springfield, Ohio to Columbus when I was a kid and surprised my grandmother and my grandfather and my mom by bringing their great aunt, my grandmother's great aunt, so it would have been my great aunt. And that was the last time any of us saw her, that we were all able to be together. That was awesome.
Favorite Thanksgiving memory? When I was a kid, it was my mom, my brother, and I. My mom was from Connecticut, and that full weekend, her family would come down from Connecticut for the entire weekend. It was cousins, it was aunts. We went from a family of 3 to a family of 12. I dreamed about that weekend leading up to it, and I was always super sad when they went home.
My favorite Thanksgiving memory is probably just a combination of all of the years at Family Thanksgiving where we were at the kids' table. From the time I was born to well past college, and I think even when I was married, because there was never any room at the adult table, and so I lived at the kids' table my entire life. But we had a great time with my family and my cousins, and so I guess if I never graduated, I'm okay.
So my favorite Thanksgiving memory has to be the basement of my grandparents' house, which always was a little dicey carrying the food downstairs, but that's where the most room and the TV was. So of course we'd have football on, we're all watching teams we don't care about, rooting like crazy, and then listening to the snoring from the back when the adults would finally pass out from all the turkey and all the food, but I can still see it and smell it like it was yesterday.
Honestly, I didn't get to see my family a lot in college because they're from Georgia and I went to college in Ohio, so I never really got to go home to see them for Thanksgiving. So one year, my sophomore year, they came up to see me and we made a whole vacation out of it. It was so much fun. And it was so comforting to see them just come and be with me, especially since I was going through a really rough time then.
It was just something so precious, and I'm so glad that my family will go out of the way to show that they love me.
We lived 12 hours away from family, and we had a Friendsgiving with our neighbors in our backyard. Nobody believed the same thing, but it was really cool that we all came together and were able to spend time together, thankful for, well, friendship.